Hello everybody, welcome back, and welcome back to part 3 of our playthrough. We are still in the first chapter, The Gathering, and we're going to be running through the whole campaign, I hope. We are in the middle of a turn transition right now. We could advance to the next turn, or we could actually spawn the Ghoul Priest at this point. And I am considering the cards that we've drawn into are not cards that I like. I don't have my favourite suite of cards, my tricks, my Wendy tricks, things like backstab and sneak attack. Roland doesn't have his beat cop out, those kind of things. Gosh, plenty of cards, but they are questionable use. There's a lot of utility though I can see. Wendy has built up a bunch of resources here. I think that might be Cunning distraction fuel. I think we have a lot of control at our fingertips. We could, for example, pay 5, Cunning distract, evade all enemies, then get the Wendy's amulet out for ready for the next turn, play Cunning distraction again. It's just, do we have the burst damage to actually take down the Ghoul Priest? Which is something I'm honestly not sure we do at this point. However, we will see how it goes, shall we? We are going to... I think I've just convinced myself that with this on hand, it makes sense to spawn the Ghoul Priest earlier rather than later. So, sure, let's do it. Spend 6 clues and pop an act, not an agenda, pop an act. We're still at the end of the previous turn. Using the barrel from the attic, you carry ice and snow from the cellar and hurl it at the barrier. The barrier sparks and shudders as it consumes the ice, then hisses and fades out of existence. So, we are going to reveal the parlor, we're going to bring Lita down, and we're going to bring the Ghoul Priest down. Let's take a look at the parlor and Lita. 2 Shroud, not that we care. It has the resign option. If things get a little bit too hairy, we can move into the parlor and, as an action, resign. Doesn't take any attacks of opportunity. It's just better than being defeated via losing too much health or sanity. You don't get a trauma if you resign, but you do if you otherwise are defeated. There is also a parley option for gaining control of Lita. It's a intellect test of 4, so it's not exactly easy. Lita is amazing. She has 3 health and 3 sanity for her to soak up damage that is being done, and she has 2 amazing area of effect abilities. One is to give +1 combat to all investigators at a location, and the other deals +1 damage to all monsters at a location. So not all enemies at a location, just monster type enemies. Before we take a look at the Ghoul Priest, let's read the act that we've just revealed. Act 3, what have you done? A woman with a torch stands in your parlor, a glimmer of hatred in her eyes. What have you done to my barrier? She screams, furious. Before you can answer, a ghastly wail sounds behind you, and a creature wearing robes and a deer skull mask tears through the wall, advancing toward you. We now have a new objective: defeat the Ghoul Priest. The Ghoul Priest is this cheery fellow. He's going to have health of 10, because it's 5 multiplied by the number of investigators. It preys on highest combat. It is a hunter. It does retaliate. Hunter is when it will, in the enemy phase, move into a new location before attacking. It follows you around. Retaliate is if we do any combat checks against it and they fail, it will immediately hit us using its default values of 2 damage and 2 horror. Because it preys on highest combat, it will immediately engage Roland. You do use the prey text there because it didn't come from the encounter deck. So the overall rule of you drew it, you own it from the encounter deck doesn't apply there. So we do use the prey to determine who it goes against. We have spawned everything. It is technically the end of that turn, so we can get rid of this. And we move into the Mythos phase of the next turn. Let's give everything a nice big shuffle. this last video. Right then. I'm going to tick up the Doom track, and we're going to draw some encounter cards. Roland has a Crypt Chill. Well, that's no good. He'll probably end up losing his machete. Does he have anything he can commit here? We will throw Old Book of Law at it. Do I throw physical training or do I keep physical training? That's a tricky one. I think we commit this. It's going from, if we just commit this, it's 0 or better. If we commit this, it is... Well, actually, before we do that, this is 0 or better, this is -1 or better, which I feel better about. Is there anything here that Wendy can help out with? I feel like we keep Cunning Distraction, seeing as we have so much up there. And I don't think we're going to commit these wild icons. So yeah, at this point, I think I am. I'm going to go with the -1 rather than the 0. Check. I would really like to keep the machete, I think. Let's test for -1 or better. That is a -1. There is one ghoul at our location currently, the Ghoul Priest, and we are successful. So we did pass our Crypt Chill test and we can keep hold of our machete. But we lost physical training in the process. Wendy will draw Obscuring Fog, which is just a nice free gimme. There is now a shroud value of 3 in the hallway, and we do not give a crap. Right then, investigation phase. We need to be burning down the Ghoul Priest. And we do not have our burning tools. Because this is an ideal point. Well, it's not ideal, I suppose. I can smack it with machete at this point. But if I fail, it will retaliate against me. However, I do have 2 overpowers in hand. So maybe now is a good time to try to guarantee victories. Because at some point this ghoul is going to come say hi. And I would rather that just complicates and messes up my old friend. Hello, Machete. My old friend Machete's effectiveness. Yeah, we're going to do that. Roland will... We're not going to do the the Wendy shuffle where she engages and evades out. She might engage and evade out, but for the time being I'm going to leave the Ghoul Priest in Roland's area whilst he hacks at it with a machete. First action, he is going to... Yeah, he's just going to hack at the... Oops, that's not the right button. He's going to hack at the Ghoul Priest. He has combat 4, modified up to 5, and we will play overpower, so 7. 7 versus difficulty 4. Does Wendy want to contribute any icons? Yeah, I think she does. I think she's going to commit knife to this test. She's going to help out. So we go to 8 versus 4. So just nullifies the effect of one of the tokens causing us problems. That's -1. Oops. I do that so often. That was a success. Arguably we overcommitted there, but at this point I don't mind too much. It was a success, so this replaces itself and we draw into a Guts. As a second action we will attack with the machete again and commit this copy of Overpower. Does Wendy want to throw a strength icon? I think I'm going to keep hold of this. As much as I dislike the 41 Derringer, there may come a point where I just need to do 1 ping of damage against the Ghoul Priest. And I think without any of her other weapons making an appearance, I think it would be wise to keep hold of that. It may have been wiser to keep hold of the knife, huh? Than the Derringer. Yeah, probably would have been. That would have been a better one to commit. Oh well. Not going to go back on it. We're in Roland's second action. He is hacking away at the Ghoul Priest with a machete, and he's at -7. Sorry, he's at 7 versus 4 difficulty. Shuffle, shuffle. And we have a ghoul, skull, which corresponds to -1. So we're fine. That is another success. I will apply damage in just a second. We draw a card. And we have Barricade. Interesting. That is actually quite interesting. There's a couple combos here where we could just head into the parlor, barricade ourselves in the parlor, and then we don't have to worry necessarily about ghouls clogging up our threat areas. We would need to worry about ghouls advancing the doom tracker very fast, though, if we let things get out of control. That's an interesting option. Let's process the 2 attacks that we did. They both did +1 damage, because it's the only enemy in our threat area. Why am I putting the damage up there? Silly no aloha. Let's grab these. Drop them next to the Ghoul Priest. You do have one more action left. Maybe at this point we can risk just smacking it. What would it be? 5 versus 4, so -1 or better. It would take you up to 6, which puts you within range of a catastrophic agility test from an encounter. So that might not be great. Yeah, unsure actually. I think at this point, Roland isn't going to risk this. Any further damage that he does against the Ghoul Priest will probably be from the safety of having this exhausted in the disengagement zone. And he'll just fire at it with bullets. I think that's safer, rather than taking a chance at a retaliate attack. Yeah, so as a final action, he doesn't have an awful lot that he can choose to do, actually. He would get opportunity attacks. All he can do is evade or fight. I'm not going to spend that action. I'm going to just let it go. We'll go over to Wendy. Does Wendy want to do anything before she messes around with the Ghoul Priest? No, not necessarily. There's nothing that she could do right now that she couldn't do afterwards. She will engage the Ghoul Priest over. She will evade the Ghoul Priest. She'll commit manual dexterity. And she will commit survival instinct, I think. Sure. What does that give her for numbers? Agility 4, agility 5, 6, agility 7 versus difficulty 4. So with repulls and the whatnot, that's fairly safe. The -3 or better. That is a success. We can put you away, we can put you away. You can replace yourself. And we have dig deep. Okay. Not that useful actually. I would much prefer hard knocks. We obviously have a lot of resources, but if I'm considering going Cunning Distraction, Wendy's Amulet, Cunning Distraction, that's actually not a lot of resources at all. Or I just want to have that in my back pocket as an option, I suppose, is more accurate. So we did evade the Ghoul Priest. It goes over here. It should take its damage with it, perhaps. And Wendy has 2 more actions to play with. Wendy's in a funny situation now where there are cards that she absolutely wants to find. Sneak attack being probably the most important. However, there's 14 cards left in her deck. One of these cards causes her to discard everything. She has amnesia in here somewhere. I don't actually know what the best plan is. I think we should equip this weapon. We could resource cache, for example. Yeah, let's do it that way. We're going to build ourselves up a little bit. We're going to play emergency cache, gain more resources, and then we're going to equip our Derringer. It's 3 ammo, correct? Yes. We have to pay those 3 resources to do that. That was Wendy's 4 actions. Right then. We will go into... There's no enemies to speak of that can do anything. We can get our actions back. The Ghoul Priest unexhausts and engages the Investigator with the highest combat. And we can draw some cards. Roland draws into... Vicious Blow, my old friend. Nice to see you. Let's put you up there. Go over to Wendy. Sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. It's another manual dexterity. Not the worst. It's not the spike damage that we're looking for, though. The end of the round, we go into the next turn. Mythos phase ticks, and we draw some encounter cards. That is Rotting Remains for Roland. He's going to have to test willpower and take horror. How are you doing on horror at the moment, my friend? So if you fail this catastrophically, you would go up to 4. I don't know what we can throw at a willpower test. Could throw a barricade. Oh, we have guts in our hand. We drew into that. Perfect. Right then, let's throw guts at this. So we have modified willpower of 5, difficulty 3, with the chance of drawing another card. That is a pass. Thank you, Guts. Very nice. Thank you very much. We draw a new card, and it's emergency cash. Dynamite. Where are you, Dynamite? I really want to see Dynamite. Wendy will draw into Is that rats? Yeah, just some rats. Okay. Not necessarily a problem. Wendy can handle rats, whilst Roland continues to smack away. It actually does complicate things a little bit, because ideally I mean, now might be the time to Cunning Distract. It seems very wasteful against just these 2 enemies. However, it means that Wendy could fight the rats, then engage over, and then evade, taking 3 actions, and she doesn't have much else that she can do. Or she Cunning Distraction, everybody is evaded. Equips Wendy's amulet, and then maybe tries to kill the rat. It does get her amulet out faster, I think. Interesting. Sure. I think we do it that way. I don't want Roland attacking the Ghoul Priest while it's in his face anymore. I want him just smacking it with bullets. So Wendy needs to do a thing. I think I'm going to just use this. I'm going to waste it, arguably, on the swarm of rats. But I don't want any little ticks of opportunity. I just don't want this in my face, basically. Yeah. Let's do it. We're going to pay 5. And put this in our event area. This immediately applies the effect of evade to all enemies at our location. It doesn't incur an attack of opportunity because it has the evade text in bold down there. So it follows the rules that you would apply to an evade type action. Everybody is evaded and goes into the disengagement area. That's fine. That was a first action. As a second action then, I think at this point Wendy is... Does Wendy just want to... She can't take retaliation damage, so maybe she just blasts it 3 times with her pistol. And just do 1 damage each time. What are the actual numbers here? She'd be testing 3... Gosh, it's so bad. She'd be testing 3 versus 4, so -1s or better. She does have a lucky in play. Maybe we can use it to get 1 little... But I would rather not. But we could use this twice. Right. Yeah, here's what we're going to do. We are going to spend an action and shoot at the Ghoul Priest. It is just testing 3 versus 4. Is there anything over here that you might want to throw at this? No. No, I don't think so. 3 versus 4. So, let's see what we draw. That is a -1. So, we are at 2 versus 4. So, we have failed by 2. However, as a fast action, we will play this card, Lucky, and add 2 to our skill value, which turns it into a success, and it goes into our event pile over here. Did I pay the resource there? I forget if I paid the resource. Ah, crap. I think I did. I'm going to pay it again because I don't want to risk invalidating the playthrough. So we did pass because we applied lucky to the test, and we do manage to deal 1 damage. At this point, Wendy is going to pay 2 resources and equip Wendy's amulet. We have to get rid of the rabbit's foot because they are both accessories. And then as a 4th action, we are going to attack again into the Ghoul Priest. Or should I not do this? Should I? What I'm concerned about here is having the option. No, because we don't have the option for Cunning Distraction until we use Lucky. So I do actually want to use Lucky at this point. So yeah, 4th action, we're going to ping at it again with the 41 Derringer. And same things apply. A -1 is actually a success if we pay for Lucky. Let's put you back. I would like to see you again, please. That is a -1. Fantastic. So what we can do there is play this as a fast action, but because Wendy's amulet is out now, it goes under our deck. We get to succeed at our shot on the Ghoul Priest, do another 1 damage, and we now have Cunning Distraction available. We spent perhaps too much resources there, so we don't have it as an option immediately. We will get 1 at the end of this turn. But yeah, I think that was fairly nice. That was all of Wendy's actions. Let's go over to Roland. Roland can now shoot with impunity into the disengagement area. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With some good rolls, we could defeat the Ghoul Priest right now, but we don't have much in the way of buffs. What can we throw at these? We don't have anything that we can, like the physical. Yeah, we got rid of the physical training, didn't we? We'll certainly throw Vicious Blow at this. Let's just do some numbers. 4, 5, 6. Do we keep it at 6? I think we do. Over 6, going from -2 or better to -3 or better, your percentage increases drop drastically. So we're just going to keep it at -2 or better by bumping our total value up to 6 versus a combat check. -2 or better, please. That is a ghoul, a skull token. There is only 1 ghoul at our location. Wonderful. So that is a success, and we do 1 extra damage. So we actually do 3 damage to it. 1, 2, 3. Nearly dead. You just have to do 1 more. That was an action, wasn't it, obviously? And it used up a bullet. We can place this down here. At this point, maybe we're just going to smack it, I think. I think we're okay here. We're okay. We're going to commit Guard Dog and shoot at it again. 4, 5, 6 versus 4, -2 or better for a dead Ghoul Priest. -2 or better. Hooray! Yeah! Fireworks, fireworks. Right then, we dealt the final amount of fatal damage to the Ghoul Priest. We can pick him up, throw him in the victory pile. Let's grab the cellar that has been exhausted of clues, throw you over there also. Let's grab the attic. We didn't manage to kill any of the special enemies. You know the ones I mean, that give you an extra victory point. No problem though, we have successfully defeated the Ghoul Priest. Wendy got a little Trixie Derringer out. I shouldn't be so harsh on that weapon perhaps. She'd have done better with a baseball bat. Anything I need to point out? Not really. We can just move into tidying up the scenario now. Scenario is finished. We successfully completed this. We can flip this over now. Let's bring our plucky young investigators. They can have a look also. Right then. When the robed creature falls, the fiendish swarm burrows back into the ground, and the chaos of the house quiets. But the stranger in your parlor doesn't seem relieved. You broke my seal that was set to trap the ghouls within. She raises her torch. Now we must take more direct measures and burn this hell pit to the ground. We must now choose which resolution we want to take forward into scenario 2. It was never much of a home, burn it down, resolution 1, or this hell pit is my home, no way are we burning it. I have decided, it's half theme, half role-playing, and half actual just playing the game in a way that I kind of optimizes things. I know the consequences of both of these. One of them involves perhaps something I didn't want to do to our lead investigator. It's a nice kind of, you get one good thing, but you also have to do a bad thing to your lead investigator. I'm going to tell Lita to stuff the torch. She is not burning down my home. Plus, this isn't even my home. This is some weird spooky cave. I don't even know where my home is. I need to find my home. Oh my god, where's my home? He's a stubborn old dude. I don't think he's going to let Lita just torch the place, even if it does seem to return to normal, as I think the narrative is implying. All his stuff's here, all his research, all his investigation notes. Yes, he's seen a few weird things recently, but no. He's going to tell Lita to drop it and stop being a crazy person. So, at that point, we take the resolution 2 and we go to the campaign log and find the resolution 2. You refuse to follow the overzealous woman's order and kick her out of your home for fear that she will set it ablaze without your permission. Fools! You are making a grave mistake, she warns. You do not understand the threat that lurks below, the grave danger we are all in. Still shaken by the night's events, you decide to hear the woman out. Perhaps she can shed some light on these bizarre events, but she doesn't seem to trust you very much. And then after that flavor text, the campaign log will indicate how you go about processing the notes for the turning of the chapters. So we would note that our house is still standing, for example. Which I can just quickly do. Our house is still standing. There is also a note that because the lead investigator stood up to Lita and refused to have their house burned down, that lead investigator gains +1 experience for this scenario. Lead gains +1 XP. At that point, all it does in the campaign log is advise how many victory points you are going to get as a group. You add up your victory pile over here. So we get 2 for the Ghoul Priest, 1 for the attic for clearing all the clues off it, a second location victory point for clearing all the clues off the cellar, for 4 total, and for scenario 1, if you are successful with resolution 1 or 2, you do gain 2 bonus experience for everybody. So Roland has 6 + 1 for his bonus experience. Roland finishes with 7 experience that he can spend, and Wendy finishes with 6. 6 is fine. It's perfectly respectable. And yeah, that went fine, I think. We would now, were I going to record it, go through all of these cards, and I would pick which ones I wanted to add in and then remove the cards that I don't like, what I'm going to replace. I will do this off camera though. Between now and the next video, I will decide how I'm going to upgrade the decks, and we can start our next chapter with just a little discussion about how the decks have been altered. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Chapter 1, and I sincerely hope that you will join me when we return for Chapter 2. I can't say when that's going to be recorded. Maybe, I really don't know. It could be in the next couple of days. It could take a week or so. But yeah, it will happen when it will go up when it goes up, and I hope you look forward to it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care out there. Have fun. Be nice to each other, and goodbye. See ya.